just came. I wonder what goodies we have today. And some junk mail. Let's go out here and see what we got. I'm just kidding. I already know what we got. But let's open these. As you can see, we got the Firefly sitting out here. And we're gonna be doing some updating. So let's get these packages opened and check them out. Okay, let's open this one up first and see exactly what's in here. I know what it is. At least I hope I know. And I hope it fits, because I went by guess. And look what we have here. A nice looking PICKGUARD. And it looks like it might require a bit of modification, but not too much. And I'll give you links to this if you're interested. What else do we have in here? Well, look at this. Some humbucker surrounds. And we're going to go with a whole theme on these. We'll see if these are of decent quality. I hope they are. These are golden. I was going to go with bronze, but I decided not to. Decided to go with these. I'm trying not to rip these bags, but I might have to. Yeah, just for a moment. That's what these look like, and I think these surrounds are going to look very nice on here, especially with the gold top hats. And it even came with some nice screws. I didn't expect the screws. So we got those. We got that. And what is in the other one? Oh, we're going to replace the switch on this, or at least the switch trim. So let's tear into this one and see what we got here. And here it is. We have a nice switch, but this switch is not. I ordered the switch because it came with all these knobs, and it was more inexpensive to buy these in this white than it was to replace everything. So it's probably the exact same switch that's in here, and I almost can guarantee it. But we're going to change the surround and put the gold knob on it. So let's get started. So the first thing we are going to do is remove this PICKGUARD, and everything should come out easy. And we'll set everything to the side. And I say should. Actually should remove it from here. That would be the best bet. And hopefully there's no scratches from the screw underneath here. Yeah, and that's just what they do. They always use too long of a screw, and it gives you a little scratch right here. Actually, that one's not too bad compared to most I've seen. And if you're wondering, of course, these are adjustable right here. So what I'm going to do with this one, and I'll show you the difference between these two, and I had a feeling that they would be a difference. I'm going to show you what I can do here. Take this and sit it to the side. And if we take our new PICKGUARD and our old PICKGUARD, we'll be able to see the difference. Now there's no difference on top, but if you can see here, our difference is right here. So we're going to have to shave this back a little bit. Simple Dremel tool will take care of that. And honestly, depending on how these surrounds fit, we may not have to do that. So we're going to have to see how that goes. But as you can see, this one, and it's going to look very nice on there. That white marbleized look. I'm a drummer, you'd call this oyster. Is definitely going to look a lot better. So, let me clean all this out here, all the debris out where everything was screwed in. I do have the screws or the strings loosened already. So what I'm going to do, start removing. I may need a different size for this, and I do. Just start removing these surrounds. Stay in place. Pull these out, and as you can see, they just use a cheap plastic style, and honestly, there's always lots of residue in here from the build, from where they drilled it out. So there's that. Now let's figure out which one is which. This will be our neck pickup. And it should be this away. So one thing you're going to want to pay attention to is what I just messed up, was the direction of the angle to the surround. You want the small end on this particular style anyhow, angling towards the neck. We should be good. So I'm just going to kind of sit these in place. These sure they work here. Get those. So buyer beware. These are very unforgiving, and if you look, they look like the holes are in the same place, but they are a touch off. So while they do fit the humbucker, they do not fit. So what you're gonna have to do is set your bit depth and drill down through, and it drills easy with a good sharp bit. And there we are. Now with any luck, a lot of you will not be prepared to do that or want to do that. So like I said, a lot of you won't be prepared or really want to do this. Me, this is for me. So it doesn't bother me, and we can still go back to the old PICKGUARD. And we just want to snug these, not over tighten them. It looks very good. And no, I'm not sending it back on a $180 guitar. Modifications are cool. And it makes it mine. And if anything, you want to undercut a little bit the drill size. I'm not sure what size I pulled out. They're very small, but that ensures a nice snug screw. And as you can see, looks good. And now that we know what we have to do, and maybe we won't have to do it on the bridge pickup, but we're going to check our angle once again and make sure we're right. So the thick end theoretically should be towards the bridge. So let's pull these ones out. And a weird angle bent over here. So there's that. Okay. So there we go. And I would pull out the humbucker to check it out, but I'm not going to, simply because we're just doing surrounds. Okay, so there we are. We're going to put our springs in now real quick. And what I like to do is take a spring, start it on the screw on the other side here, kind of like so, gently as not to scratch the guitar. These ones are probably a bit more difficult. They're closer to the bridge, a lot less room to work with. Easier to do with the strings off, definitely. I start this, and yes, you can tape it up if you want to. And I'm just going to start this with a couple of turns on this side, just to seat it, and that's all it took. See that? Now we're going to take our other spring and use it under here, and then up, and drop the screw down into it. Should, theoretically, kind of line up. We're close to it. There we are. And we'll raise these. So I'm going to do this a bit. Oh, I'm not in the hole. Right next to it. There we are. I'll get these kind of up a little bit. I'm going to do this front one. Sometimes we do this and we learn as we go. I'm really digging this gold. It's just a touch of gold. It's just my style. So what I'm going to do is just like before, because I want this whole, I don't want to screw the other side. This is the side I screwed in first last time, so we're going to do the same here. That way at least they're proportionately correct. So what I'm going to do is put these ones in, snug, and once again, just snug, not tight, and we will take our drill bit, a little bitty one, make sure it's not crooked, Mike, there we go, and we will take it, center it, and that is drilled out, and we'll center it, and that's all we need. That is it. And hopefully I'm not missing a screw. And that's what I'm looking for right now, is a gold screw. I believe it should be here someplace. Let's take a look, see. Let's get this one in. It should go in nice and easy. Very snug. There we go. And good thing that wasn't lost. It was just on the other side of the table. And there we are. Yeah, the distance is far enough away where it's not going into the other hole either, so you don't have to worry about that. And there is that. And I personally think that looks pretty good. I do. I'll give you up here, and now you can see. Very neat. We're gonna have to polish up the guitar afterwards, of course. Of course. And give you an idea here. Just that hint of gold on there. Nice classy look. Nice classy look. Now, let's go to the switch. And I know everybody's dying to see. This is still not going to fit, I can almost guarantee it, but I have a lot less to trim now, which is kind of strange. So, yeah, that's going to be an easy one. So I'm really pleased with this, and I'll give you a link to exactly what that was. Let's see, what do they call this? This is for an ES339. okay? I don't know which one fits this Firefly directly, and I took a chance because this looked like, well, the right size, and it's very, I mean, it's so close, it's almost meant to be. So, it's almost meant to be. So, okay, so we got that taken care of. I'll put these screws out of the way. Let's turn to this switch. Now these I've done these before. Just a pair of pliers. These should come loose very, yes it does, comes loose very easily. I am not going to change the switch out because, well, the switch I don't believe that I got is any better than what's in here, or on here I should say. So I'm just gonna pull these off, this off. But the real reason, and once again, clean up underneath. And you know what? The switches are almost, let's see. Well, they might, let's see if they're the same size here. Yeah, everything's the same. So anyhow, what I'm gonna do is just change the selector cover. I hope that makes sense to you guys because we got this black one, but I want a white one on there because I think it goes with the binding better. I definitely think it goes with the binding better. I'm sure you guys will agree. That looks a lot better. The gold in it. So from what I can tell, the Gibsons don't even come, like a 338, 335, I don't believe even have these on them. I believe it's just the switch itself, but I like the switch cover. So I am going to use it. Hopefully that screws on as I use it in off and out. There we go. Make sure the ribbon's on top. There we are. And it's functioning properly. So we got that. We got to make sure it switches to the right direction. There we are. Okay, now I don't want to over tighten this. We just give it a small little snugness so the switch is not loose without scratching anything, hopefully. Very nice. There we are. Now what we can do is we can find out what selector this comes with. Now this does come with a silver that's on it, on the switch here. And then we have this gold, and I think we're going to try overdo it. Anyhow, let's get a look. If you see all the fingerprints, there's not scratches, they're just fingerprints, guys. But as you can see, it's starting to look pretty good. Okay, so what do we do now? Well, I'm going to take all this stuff, I'm going to box it up. Then we're going to worry about that pick guard. I'm going to come back. What we're going to do is I'm going to Dremel out this pick guard, just a touch, and then just to stick in there. And when you see me again, we'll be installing it. Okay, so I was going to use a Dremel. This has a plastic protection over it. So what I have is a very sharp Milwaukee blade, and I can actually run this blade down and trim it in slow little increments and get it really straight. I'm trying to show you this on camera. Very straight, and I shouldn't be cutting towards myself, but I'm doing it for you. Very straight, and you can see that just took off just a little bit. And you can run it a little bit at a time, and it just literally like butter. And one or two more passes like that should do it. Give it more for the measure. We can get a nice, extremely straight cut. I'm just going to clean it up a bit because we want it to look proper. And I know I'm off camera right now and I apologize, but I don't want to cut myself. And that fits, now that fits in. Okay, so I'm going to leave that protective coating on. Okay, and I got a little bit of residue right there in the corner. We can take that out. Now you can't see, it looks like it's not cut straight, but it's actually cut. It's a straight piece of plastic. But you'll see when we get it on here. So, before I put that on, I would like to get a little polish underneath before we start putting that on. Just a little protection underneath. Because it hasn't been polished there yet, so I'm just going to a quick rub on and a rub off. We're going to polish up the whole guitar when I'm done. The surface is amazingly nice. Now, if you guys remember, we have this metal piece here, and that is simply adjustable, and that's going to go here. But what I'd like to do is make sure that we have a little bit of an arch, a little more of an arch, so the screw that originally came through it does not hit on the guitar like it did. So basically, this is going to screw into here. And that was this screw here. Okay, I'm not doing it right now, I'm just showing you guys. Pick guard there, and then this pick guard is going to get adjusted, and it's just going to screw into right there basically. So I'm going to try to find out exactly where it needs to go, which looks to be about right there. You know what? I could. I'm going to trim up in a little bit more because I think it'll sit a little better if I do. Yeah, like that. It's straighter. Oh, it was pretty straight. Once again, I don't want to slip, so that's why I'm off camera. You guys don't need to see my... Oh, that's very tight against the pick guard now, or the surrounds now. Super nice. Okay, now what I'm trying to find. Let me find that, and I'll be right. Okay, sorry about that. I was tracking down things that I need. So we're going to start this on here, this processing now. We're going to screw that in here and take our nut. We're going to put our nut on. The other side here. And I'm not going to tighten it, I'm just going to snug it. Now my goal is to make this so it does not hit the guitar itself. I'm going to slip this on, and I want to gauge it. I'm going to, well, my hole is right here, you can see, and that is right there, so that's going to go there. And is that going to hit underneath is the question, and that is not hitting. So we should be okay, and when I tighten this up, it should arc it up more, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So, I'm going to snug it a little bit more, and then I'm going to let this thing, as I tighten it into here, I want to tighten under here last, so I have to get in there with a wrench. So the first thing I'm going to do is put this screw in here, hold the pick guard in place, and I'm going to use, I'm not going to put this tight either, and then there's this one. And remember, these are the short ones, going to put this in here. Now this should draw in flat and then arc this up. And it may need a little bit of help, and I think that was the problem with the other one that was on there, is they installed it. And that's beautiful right there, and that should not be touching underneath it. Nope, it's just above it. And now we can go up in underneath afterwards, and it might even, it's tightening itself. So there, that is actually tight. It tightened itself. Beautiful. So let me give this a quick once over with some polish to get this residue off of my fingerprints and what have you. We just created our mess. And we'll give you guys a look at the finished result. Okay, so here we are. And as you can see, it dramatically changes the look of this guitar. And if you guys are into modding, don't be afraid to drill into your guitar, because, well, sometimes you have to. Pickguard's quite nice, and if you look under there now, I don't know if you can see this, that screw is not touching the body as it should be. And actually, I'm going to arc this more. I'm going to put a little bend in that and arc it more. I'll do that a little bit off camera. Now we have the gold knobs, as you can see. And I don't know about the gold switch. We might go with a silver switch. I don't know. We might go back to black. I don't know. And the reason I say I'm not afraid to drill into this, because I'm going to be putting a BIGSBY tremolo on it. So, a vibrato. So, but before we're done here, let's... There we are. There we are. And I think that looks quite good. And I got a lot of, as you can see, that's not scratches, that's just a lot of, you can see it comes up. That's, I still got residue on there. I gotta give it a polish. Okay, when I got the strings loose, what I like to use on my fretboards, and you can look this up, it's been used for a good long time, but you never hear about it, is you can take some good organic coconut oil. Yes, coconut oil, and you can use it on your fretboard. Do not let it sit on your frets themselves. Wipe it off good once you put it on, and that's going to give you a nice, fast surface, and works out really, really nice. One of the better things to use on a fretboard, in my opinion. As you can see, it does have the bone nut. Very cool. Looks good. Stick around one more second. We'll give you some polished up images of this thing. So, interesting note. I peeled off the first layer. There was actually 2 layers covering this pickguard, which I found very strange, but hey, it was protected. And like I said, that was, I'm going to give you guys, I'm not going to put a link, I'm just going to tell you, because it's not a direct fit, obviously. But it was for Gibson ES339 pickguard. It's a 4-ply white. And I got it off Amazon. So, very little trim work, and it required a bit less with these surrounds. It will require a bit more with these surrounds, but not too much more. And the surrounds that came on it, these honestly, they're just cheap plastic. So, it's obviously the parts that just went onto this is a lot better. There's our black one, and as you can see, very similar in shape, but now we have an actual Gibson style on it. And tell me that doesn't look better. Isn't that beautiful? I get a vision in my head. A lot of people don't agree with it, but that's just me. I hope you guys like it. So if you're wondering what the surrounds are, that is what they are right there. That's all I can tell you. Amazon. Picked them up on Amazon. They were $10.99 for the pair. The pickguard was $13.50. And the switch here, I don't know what the switch was, to tell you the truth. It wasn't much. Hold on, let me see if I have the package here. The switch cost $6.99, and I will tell you that the switch itself, it's like a decent switch. These are not the same size. What I did off camera is I actually had to recut threads to make that gold one work. Although the old one would screw onto the new switch, the new one would not screw onto the old one as far as the switch cover itself goes. Everything else is interchangeable, the ring, the washer, the ring, and all that, but unfortunately, all of this required a bit of modification to work. And that's to be expected with a Chinese guitar. But I think it turned out quite beautiful. And here we are, all said and done. Firefly, they call these a 335, at least that's what it said in the listing. And as you can see, that fretboard looks really, really nice now. It did come really nice if you watch my other video out of the box. It did come really nice anyhow. But cleaning this up, and then a good polish, which I just did off camera. And as you can see, looks quite nice, and I really like that pick guard. I think that white just turns it into a real classic looking jazz guitar in my eyes. And just those little touches of gold with the silver running together. And I wasn't really sure which vibrato color I was going to go with. If I was going to do a silver or a gold. I'm thinking that gold may be overkill with the vibrato. I'm thinking maybe just go with the classic silver vibrato. But I'm not sure. But you guys drop in the comment section what you think should be on it. And as far as the tuners go up top, I'm going to be changing the tuners also. And that might be something, not because they need it. They do hold tune really well. And if you're wondering why the tags are still on it, because I'm just a stickler for keeping things kind of OCD about that. But these tuners hold tune very, very well. However, I just think it needs a little something more flashy up there. And if you look at this gold, it's not really a gold like you would think, at least, well, it appears to be on this camera. But in real life, it's more of a bronzy look. So perhaps some bronze tuners. Something good, though. It's definitely going to hold it in tune. I'm going to keep the silver hardware down here for now. I'm probably going to have to go with a roller bridge when I do the vibrato. But I don't know. Perhaps the gold vibrato will look good on there. But what do you think, guys? Inexpensive way to spruce up the look of your Firefly. And what's really ironic is these covers are centered perfectly. So I don't understand how the other ones, how these don't fit, because I had to drill. And that means it had to pull it to one side, but it didn't. And the pickups move in and out of these smoothly. Everything is still right. So, works very nicely. My favorite thing is that pick guard, definitely. All right, guys, thanks for watching Fulton Street Beats. This might have been long, boring, and drawn out. Well, I like to share things with you, so there you go. You guys have a fantastic day. We'll be talking to you soon.
Oh dear, okay.
likes a poop and the president too, and the fancy pants banker in his three-piece suit, the big fat general and all of his troops. The truth of the matter is everybody poops. The famous brain surgeon has to leave his lump, and the high-priced model has to stop for a dump. But can the sides of Canada can't spray away the truth, 'cause even if they don't admit it, everybody poops. Everybody poops.